Phuket town started as a port there where Sapan Hin was, right? It's Stonebridge. There was a bridge across the river there. Sapan Hin means that. So a town formed so that the Chinese would get dropped off there. They'd pay their one baht or whatever tax, and they'd head off and go tin mining, right? And then other Chinese appeared to, cook food for the other guys, and others came to sell picks and shovels, and others came to set up whorehouses, and others came, and so it became infested with Chinese, so that by 1870, there was approximately 200,000 Chinese here and about 3,000 Thais. So it became a Chinese-run island, right? And it was still Siam, so there was no difference between...
And the king at this time, he was okay with that?
The king, yeah, as long as the Lord was paying him his tin,
he doesn't give
the Lord would collect tin. He loved to have these Chinese coming. They wanted more people. And the Chinese were happy. They were exporting people like hell, right? So they needed people to mine the tin. So they were happy. They gave all the power to the Chinese. And then he would make his tax lord a Chinaman, right? He would make the governor who's doing the real work a Chinese guy. But he said, look, if you step out of line, the Thai army is going to come here and kill you all.
Why couldn't they? Why couldn't Thailand provide their own people for the tin mining? They just didn't have enough.
They didn't have enough people, and they weren't. They're agriculturalists.
Okay.
I don't say they're like the Bumiputras, like the Malays. That fundamentally no business was run here, but only Chinese do business. Thai men never touch money, right? They would go and grow their durian or whatever. But previously, all Thai men were slaves. So if, for example, there's even stories where if a durian tree was growing in your garden, you would just go and cut it down, because next thing you know, the retainers of the Lord would come and say, that durian tree belongs to the king. And if any of the fruit fall on the ground, you're going to be liable. And if you can't pay it, we'll take your wife. They'd rather just not do any work. So it was their wives who were in the market trade. It was seen as demeaning to deal with money in Thai culture for men. That's why women do all the market trading. Now it's changed a bit, but they were not.
So the Chinese are here at this point. This is 1870.
1870 is when Phuket town started forming.
Yes.
So the capital was Talang before that, right?
And that's up by here with the Tesco and the Talang Hospital.
Yeah, and it was also Bang Rong, and it depends when the Burmese came, and that's another whole story when the Burmese took this island and just denuded it of all people. The Burmese took this island on several occasions. So when you hear about the Heron sisters, that was the one occasion they didn't take the whole island.
The Heron's Monument.
Yeah, the Heron's Monument. The French had built a fort here, 400 meters by 400 meters.
Where was that located?
No one can tell me, but I know roughly. I think it's where the Wat in Bandon is, but that's just my opinion.
The Wat in Bandon. Okay.
I know that square.
Yeah.
I think it was there.
There's the school across the street, right?
Yeah, I think it was there, but then other people say it was over here. They've got historic...
Nothing exists of it anymore.
Well, I mean, it is, because Scottish guys were coming up from Penang and writing about it was in Bandon,